All right, welcome to Module 3. In this module, our expert will teach you about using sites like Upwork and Fiverr to offer services. So get ready to take some notes and let's jump right in.
All right, so now that we've got our skill, we've decided what we're going to offer, and we've got our tools and our assets and our resources, it's time to actually offer our services. And there's two great ways to do that. One is a micro gig marketplace called Fiverr, and another is an actual freelance recruiting site called Upwork. The way Fiverr primarily operates is you put your stuff out there, and the clients come to you. They see what you have to offer, and then they choose whether or not to do business with you. The way Upwork works is sort of the opposite. The clients come to Upwork, they post a job with a description and requirements, and then you apply to those jobs. Getting started is pretty easy. The first thing we're going to do is come into Fiverr, into our seller's dashboard, and click on Gigs. That brings us to this page. We're going to come over here to Create a New Gig. Now, I've cheated a little bit and already filled some of this in to save some time. Let's have a look at what we're filling in. Gig title. Now, this is particularly important because Fiverr is a search engine. People come to it and they type in the search bar what they're looking for, and hopefully your gig pops up somewhere high up in the results. So you want to make sure that your name is super optimized. You can also add a specific SEO title so that search engines outside of Fiverr, such as Google or Yahoo or Bing, can actually find your gig out there when people are searching the World Wide Web. Now, there is a character limit that's a little bit smaller for your SEO title, but we can just remove a few words and we're good to go. Our main words, animated explainer video, are included in there. Our main title that's going to be visible inside of Fiverr is I will create, and I will is default, by the way. It has to be an I will statement. So this is the portion that you're able to edit. I will create the best animated explainer video for your business. Now we're sort of covering a few different bases here. Best is a superlative. That'll stand out when people are looking at it. Animated and explainer are two different things that people might choose. Some people might look for an animated video for their business, but not know to use the word explainer because they're not familiar with that concept or phenomenon. So we're covering our bases here. And of course, we've got the word business because we're looking for businesses. Next, category. We've chosen video animation for this one. And our subcategory is going to be, as recommended right there at the top, whiteboard and animated explainers. Next, animation type is going to be a 2D animation. File format could be anything. We're just going to stick with MP4 so that people know what they're getting. Sometimes you'll get special requests. If you can offer anything at all, then go ahead and check them all. Next, search tags. This is super important. This is yet another thing that's going to make your gig rank higher on Fiverr when people search for what you're offering. So, our keywords, animation, explainer, animated video, sales video, cartoon, and you're only allowed up to 5, so make sure that you choose yours very carefully. Next, let's go on to save and continue, and that'll bring us to scope and pricing. Now, when you get a little more advanced, you can actually add 3 different types of packages here, tiered sort of, and each one is more expensive than the first, and they obviously offer different things. So you could offer 4-day delivery for this one, and then the next step up could be 2-day delivery. Or you could have 3-minute videos for this one, and the next step up would be a 5-minute video, and then a 10-minute video, that sort of thing. So you offer more, and you charge more. In this case, we're going to keep it pretty basic here, and we're going to stick with just one package. We're going to call it standard, because you have to give each package a name. This is our little description, a full HD animated video up to 3 minutes, 4-day delivery, 1 revision if they want something changed. Voiceover recording included. Runtime in seconds, we'll go ahead and spell that out to 180. And we're not going to include any of these here. We are, however, going to include them down here in Gig Extras. We'll get to that in a second. So these are all the things that you could offer them. Words included. Now, you could offer something specific here, but since we're already putting a time table, a time limit on the video, we don't really need to add that. Price, $10 for the basic package. Now, if people want to add additional things, for example, they want us to write the script for them, or they want extra fast delivery, or they want background music, we can offer all those. So in this case, extra fast delivery, I'll deliver it in 2 days for 10 bucks. Script writing, I'll write your script for 10 bucks. I'll put background music into your video for 10 bucks. And you can add as many gig extras as you want. Let's hit save and continue. Here we have a description. Now this is critical because Fiverr is a pretty saturated marketplace. It's a happening place. You're going to have a lot of competition, and you need to give your buyers a reason to do business with you instead of someone else. So we've already got some copy in here. I'll create the absolute best animated explainer video for your business. If you believe in what you're offering, go ahead and use superlatives. Go ahead and use the word best. There's nothing wrong with that. Video marketing is an absolute must-have today, so we're selling them on the need. I'm going to create an attention-grabbing, entertaining video that gets your customers excited about buying your products or services. That's the benefit, right? All I need is a script, as well as a brief description of what you want the video to look like. Videos will be about 3 minutes in length. Now, if you were actually offering this gig, you would have much more information of what you need and what it's going to be like. So you would flesh this out quite a bit more. As you can see, you can have up to 1,200 characters. We're just sticking with this for the sake of this example. Frequently asked questions. You could stick that in here. For example, do you speak other languages in the video? And you can put no, English only, or yes, English and German, whatever you want to put there. So whatever makes the buying experience better for them, keeps your buyers more informed before they even hit the buy button, and keeps questions down on your end. You can go ahead and stick here and frequently ask questions and make good use of your description real estate here. Let's go ahead and hit save and continue. Then we've got tell the buyer what you need to get started. This is where after they've purchased, they send you some information. For us, we've just got one. It says, please paste your script here. Let's go ahead and hit update to keep that. And we're going to come over here and we're going to say, let's say maybe brief description of your desired video. All right, you'd probably flesh it out a little bit more. I'm just moving this along for the example. So this is, once again, what they need to submit to you in order to get the actual order started. And that's when the clock starts on your order. Hit save and continue. Next, we've got a video. Now, it's pretty important to have a video. It's not mandatory, but as you can see right here, it says videos increase user engagement by 40%. You really want videos in your gig gallery explaining to people why they should buy from you. If you don't have a video and it's just a photo, then you're not going to get as many hits. You're not going to get as many people ordering from you. So whether it's you on screen talking, saying, hi, welcome to my gig, this is what I offer, or whether it's just an example or a sample video of the types of videos that you build for people, you gotta stick something here. So we're going to click browse. We're just going to grab any random video for our purposes here. And photos as well can be helpful. Now you can put photos, obviously, of things that are relevant to your gig. For example, if you're a graphics designer, you can put images that you've done in the past. Or what some people do is they actually draw out tables with information about the gigs, okay, and choices that they have and that sort of stuff, or special sales or special deals, something along those lines. You can make those into a JPEG image, upload those here in your photos. Just take as much advantage of these possibilities, the video and the photos, as you possibly can to get as much business as you can. Let's save and continue. And that's it. We're done with the process. We'll hit publish. The video that you submitted will have to be reviewed a little bit before it's approved. Your gig will go live. And finally, people will start coming across it in the search results when they look for your gig. And Fiverr is pretty good about not just letting the people who have been here for years and years dominate the top of the search hits. They're pretty good about filtering newbies in as well and giving them a fighting chance so that every once in a while, new gigs with no reviews and no orders or purchase history will float to the top. So you do have a chance of doing that. However, the best possible way to get business directly is to go out there actively and get it on social media. You know, go out there and actively send traffic to the URL of your gig and ask people to do business with you. That's the best way to get through the door. And to set your prices to rock bottom at first, say $5 for a very, very substantial delivery, send traffic to it, get your friends or other people who you know who have businesses on social media to come here to your gig, buy it for just $5, deliver awesome service. That way, at least you get some reviews going and you've got a portfolio in your gallery, right, of jobs that you've done in the past, and that'll help you rise up. And then, of course, you increase your prices once you've got a little bit of a platform to stand on. So that's Fiverr. Pretty simple. You put your stuff out there, the clients come to you and decide after shopping around whether they want to do business with you or someone else. Now let's have a look at Upwork, which is quite the opposite. So here we are on Upwork.com. Now the first step before you go searching for jobs and browsing job posts is to create your profile, which is very similar to filling out a resume, or it can also be compared to filling out your profile on LinkedIn. In fact, it's very similar. You've got a summary statement right here that describes what you are and who you are and what you're good at. Then you create an hourly rate. Then if you have past examples of your work, you put them in your portfolio here. Then, and this is very similar to LinkedIn, you select your skills. And as you type these out, it'll actually populate pre-existing skills that exist in the Upwork database. And you put those here, and those are kind of like skill tags so that you show up higher if people are actively searching for freelancers, okay? Tests. If you have taken any types of tests, for example, if there's specialized tests for your industry or your category of work, for a language test, there might be a D-Lab or something along those lines. If you are a linguist, if you have certifications, employment history, education. So you've seen all this before. We're not going to go through how to fill out a resume or a profile. Let's move on to actually searching for job posts. So let's say, for the sake of our example, this time we're not doing video stuff. We want to be a social media manager. We want to go out and handle posting and content creation and content curation for a business. So we're going to search for social media manager. And what we've got is a bunch of results, people looking for social media management. Pretty straightforward. This one's urgent. Look at that. Here we need somebody who knows how to use Facebook ads. Not really what we're looking for, but social media, of course, pops up as one of the results. Marketing coordinator for marketing strategy and social media. Not the most specific thing that we're looking for. Let's come back up to this top one here, which was, I think, exactly what we're looking for. Senior social media manager or social media strategist. Let's click on this one. Let's click on this one. And that brings up the job details. So let's browse through this and see if it's something that applies to us. So they're looking for a social media manager or social media strategist. They're looking for someone in the United States. They're an established client. They've paid out over $200K on Upwork, so definitely a good client to go after. They're looking for a senior social media manager or strategist. We're going to pretend that we have the experience to be called senior in this case. And they give an example of responsibility, such as working with senior directors to establish social media marketing goals, help the social media team create high-quality content, approve content, guide and oversee the writing team for creating content, and so on and so forth. They're looking for someone to work 30 hours a week or more. They're looking for someone for the long haul, over 6 months, not just a single delivery of a project, but an actual long-term project here. They're looking for someone who has a mix of experience and value. So they've labeled that as intermediate. Project type, it's ongoing. You'll be asked to answer the following questions when submitting a proposal. Please let us know, if you're a cover letter, why you consider yourself a senior social media manager or strategist. So you're going to have to sell yourself a little bit here. And the single skill and expertise that they've put here as a tag is social media marketing, which is exactly what we're looking for. Preferred applicants, job success at least 90%. This is going to hurt you if you don't have any history on Upwork, so you might have to go after smaller fish first. If you do have that, then you're going to have a higher chance of getting selected by these guys. If you've been labeled by Upwork as a rising talent, you'll have a better chance of getting selected. If you're in Nevada, that's really what they're looking for, so no real chance, if you're not in Nevada, of getting selected for this. So that's an important qualifier right there. Here you can see activity on the job so far. They've gotten 5 proposals, and proposal is just another word for application. It was last viewed by the client 1 day ago. They're interviewing 3 at the time. They've sent out 41 invites proactively to people rather than just passively requiring these, and unanswered invites 34. So 34 out of those 41 have not answered their invites yet. And here's a history of jobs by the client, as well as other open jobs by them, on the off chance that there's something more relevant to you. For example, let's have a look at this one here. Social media manager, social media assistant. Let's say we don't meet the guidelines for a senior social media manager. We can click on this one, and here's the post for social media assistant. This is something we might be more qualified for. Same people looking for the job, except something that we're a little bit more qualified for, something that's more in our league. If you decide that you are a good match for a job and you want to apply, you click Submit a Proposal, which again is just a fancy word for apply. Click on Submit a Proposal, and scroll on down here. You can once again review the summary of what they're looking for with all the information, such as hours per week, etc., etc., and then you set your terms. Hourly rate, 20% Upwork service fee. You'll receive the difference between that. So Upwork basically takes 20% of whatever is paid to you by the client. So this is where you set what you're requesting. If you have a whole lot of clout, it might be okay to haggle a little bit. If they've said they only want to pay somebody $40 a month and you want to haggle with $50 a month, you're certainly able to do that theoretically. But if you really want to get the job, it might be a good idea, especially if you don't have a lot of clout or experience behind you, to just go with exactly what they were indicating that they wanted to pay. Additional details here. This is where you want to fill out a cover letter explaining why you should get the job. This is where you sell them, okay? I've been a social media manager for X number of years, or I love social media. I'm very up to date on the latest tech. I have a great command of Hootsuite, and I can publish content and curate content from within there. This is you selling yourself. And then down here, it looks like, in this case, do you fulfill the requirements in the job post? They just want a simple yes or no to make sure that they're not getting silly applications from people who didn't take the time to read their application. For example, it did say Nevada, and if we don't live in Nevada, we probably want to put a no here, in which case we should probably just not be applying to begin with, okay? Because they'll just think you're wasting their time. If you have anything else, such as a professional resume, PDF, or other things that you'd like them to see, you can always upload those here, submit proposal, and then you're going to be eventually interviewed by them if they look over your profile, look over your cover letter, and decide you're a good fit for a potential interview. So that's pretty much it, guys. Fiverr is where you post your gigs, the freelance work that you're willing to do, and people come to you and shop around and decide whether or not they want to do business with you or someone else. Upwork is where primarily the people looking for freelancers post their job, and you go to them and you decide, after shopping around, which one's a good fit for you. You submit some applications and hopefully get an interview. So two totally different ways of finding freelance work, and ideally, you'd be doing both of those if you want to have a higher chance of finding clients. But as you can see, this whole scheme over the last 3 videos that we've gone over, this is not an impossible task. You really can start a business as a freelancer. You really can generate revenue right now providing freelance services for people. Number 1, what do you want to do? What are you good at? What can you learn to do? And where can you learn to do it? Number 2, what tools, resources, assets do you need in order to fulfill jobs? And number 3, where do you go to get found, and what are the best practices for getting found by clients? So if you're ready to make some money with freelancing, go out there, figure out what job you want to perform, what service you want to provide to the world. Go get the resources you need, get the training you need, get the assets you need, and the tools and the softwares. Then come to Fiverr, come to Upwork, roll up your sleeves, and start freelancing.